Ham. Beats Rashford, who of course had just fouled him, and then he's deemed to have been fouled by Nemanja Matic, who maybe just tugged his shirt needlessly on the edge of the box. And Jarrod Bowen continues to make a proper nuisance of himself and wins another free kick. Paul, in an excellent position for West Ham.
Yeah, I like the way he gets West Ham right up the pitch when they're deep in their half. He drives with the ball and he makes stuff happen, and this is a dangerous position for Manchester United to defend. And we see a couple of free kicks in the first half, and the big centre halves come up, and it's a good chance for West Ham, a set play.
Never quite know when players come up from the Championship for big money if it's going to work or not. He has been an example, I'm pleased to say, where it has since he left now struggling Hull City. No ball's delivery is a good one. Antonio was up there looking for another goal. And Man U's defence just about do enough, and Antonio's header is over the crossbar.
Yeah, I think you just have to try and use the pace on Mark Noble's ball there rather than try and head it too hard. Just use the pace and try and guide it into the goal.
Man U's defence at 6s and 7s there, though, and I think Lindelof ends up shoving Williams out of the way, which helps Antonio get to the ball in some capacity. Antonio over the top again, looking for Bowen, and Harry Maguire stood tall, knew exactly where to be, the England defender, the Man U skipper, and he hooked it clear. Bowen head in hands. He knew he was inches away from being set through and being through on goal. He's only scored once since coming to the club, but his all-round work rate, as we mentioned, has been good. And he's had a key role in quite a lot of what West Ham have achieved in recent weeks as they have continued to climb the table. 72 gone, Premier League Live, Man United 1, West Ham 1, and don't forget, when we're done and dusted, 8:15, so 45 minutes time, Liverpool against Chelsea. Tom Reddy and Paul Parker, your commentary team, and we will also bring you the title confirmation, the trophy lift at the Kop end for Jurgen Klopp's Reds once that match is done and dusted. Looking forward to that. Matic through to Fernandes, first time ball, hoping to find Anthony Martial. It's intercepted, but Man U win it back through Rashford. His ball is blocked. Matic scurries back to win the secondary ball, but guess who? Declan Rice is there up against Brandon Williams, and watching Rice today, I've been really impressed with how not only does he do the odd stardust, the odd standout moment, but he just does a lot of understated, quiet, dirty work very nicely as well, doesn't he?
Yeah, very good. And you see there, he quickens up on players. That's just as they're going to have a touch, he quickens up on them, and you don't know he's there, and next minute he's there, and he takes the ball off you and breaks the play up for West Ham. Now,
Paul, we've talked a lot in this commentary about Aaron Cresswell, what a good player he is, but one who injuries have really kind of stilted his progress from being an England squad member 2 or 3 seasons ago, and seemingly with the world at his feet. I'm afraid he's down again and doesn't look like he's going to be able to continue. Is that another leg injury?
Yeah, it looked like his calf. I think he was holding his calf at the time, and if it is, it's his season over, and like we say, he just can't keep fit for a long enough time.
Artur Masuaku is the player who would come on, and Artur, the Congolese international, Frenchman in terms of his upbringing, good going forwards, but to put it mildly, can be defensively liable. Would that be a bit of an understatement?
You've hit the nail on the head. but again, he likes to go forward. And
can do some great stuff going forward.
Yeah, but like you say, if he's going on as a defender, he needs to defend, and this is where Man United might find an opportunity down that right-hand side, West Ham's left-hand side, to get in behind him, because he likes going forward.
Could you consider going 3 at the back almost here to help hide his defensive lack of ability by making him into a wing-back, or is that risky because it's going to break up what's largely worked beyond him?
It's probably going to break. Yeah, hold on, there's another player down there.
Goodness me, it's all happening. It's Bowen who's down this time. Crikey, he's just been caught, I think, and I think someone's accidentally, I stress accidentally, trodden on his right heel. It's Nemanja Matic, I think, who has just caught Jarrod Bowen's right heel, but I think that was an accident, unlike the Rashford one, which clearly wasn't, and saw him in the book. So Bowen has been down twice. Cresswell is down and looks set to be replaced by Masuaku. That has now officially happened. And Masuaku is on the field, and it looks, as Paul has predicted, like he is playing as a regulation left back. He's taken the position that Cresswell was in, and we'll see whether Man U can exploit that. They, I'm sure, like us, will be aware that if you can run at Masuaku, get behind him, get him in a one-on-one, he might struggle. Pogba in field. Man U really are static at the moment. We're not seeing many of those trademark injections of pace and quality. Can we see one here? Harry Maguire takes ownership in his own hands. Right-footed out to Williams, in field to Rashford. And back to Matic again, who's seeing plenty of the ball, but he's showing frustration there, looking around, gesticulating to his teammates, saying, give me an option, give me an outlet. And once again, West Ham just stand off, know when to tackle, when to win it back. And Pablo Fanal does so, and smacks it downfield looking for Antonio. He can't control, and you get it back. But frustratingly again for the Red Devils, offside flag is up, I think against Mason Greenwood.
Yeah, I think Manchester United are getting really, really frustrated with West Ham putting 10 players behind the ball now, and I think West Ham will be happy with the 1-1 coming away from Old Trafford with a 1-1 draw, and they're frustrating Manchester United.
76 gone, Man U 1, West Ham 1. Lucas Fabianski smacks it downfield. Player down this time is Thomas Souček, under pressure from the Nemanja Matic. Matic increasingly is getting more and more volatile and niggly as this game goes on, isn't he?
He is, yes. That's 2 in 2 minutes I think he's done. It's just a little bit clumsy. He's looking at the ball. He's not mean to hurt him, but it's just clumsy from Matic.
So another free kick to West Ham in another fairly promising position. Denson Wisdom has tweeted in from Port Harcourt in Nigeria saying this one is going to finish 2-2. And Uwiki Samuel just saying what an excellent and underrated player Mikel Antonio is. He says crucial goals. Come on, you hammers. That's from, Lagos in Nigeria. And Jay has tweeted in from New Orleans, beautiful city of course in the deep south of America, Louisiana, saying I sense some magic late in this game. Keep up the good work, guys. Will this magic be here, I wonder? Free kick from Noble, swung in looking for Rice. It takes a deflection. Ogbonna is there, twisting, turning, trying to get his shot away. He can't do so. Tough challenge there in the end from Souček, who was up there on Harry Maguire. And West Ham just denied the chance to rein in an opportunity on goal, but they're knocking at the door. They're not far away. Bowen at the far post, heads it back down, looking for the new man who's just come onto the field, Sebastian Haller. He replaces Mikel Antonio, interestingly. Haller, big, powerful figure, signed from the Bundesliga for big money. Started well this season before going a bit flat and picking up some injuries. He's back on the comeback trail and back hungry for goals, but he couldn't quite get one there. But a very different form of outlet for the final few minutes there for West Ham, Paul.
Yeah, it's he's a big lad and he can bring players into play. So if he can try and hold it up and let people like Bowen and maybe Noble run off him and Fornell's run off him, hopefully West Ham can get behind Manchester United's back four and get some attempts on goal.
Talk Sport Live as we prepare for another West Ham throw. Strand B says Man U struggle to have a style of play sometimes and struggle to score. And yeah, it's either brilliant, effortless in their scoring hatfuls, or they look laboured and one-dimensional and rather static. There seems to be very little in the middle. I kind of understand what he's trying to say there.
Yeah, well, I think we've both said it on this game, especially tonight, that sometimes they look really, really good and then they look like they don't really know what they're doing.
Jacob Dillon saying Greenwood is the future. Will he bring it home for the Three Lions one day as well? We will wait and see. Anyway, West Ham are back on the attack here in swinging ball from, I think it was Pablo Fanals on the far side. It was looking for the new man Sebastian Haller. Over the Frenchman though, and easily claimed by David De Gea. I wonder if we'll see a few more crosses into the box and the use of a more traditional target man now for West Ham in these final few minutes. Here's Greenwood on the far side. Tries to find the new man, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, who was on for the second half. Wan-Bissaka wins it second time around, but guess what? Another foul by Nemanja Matic. They really are racking up big time in this game, aren't they? He must be into closing on double figures himself.
And I think you just look at him there and he's getting frustrated, not just with himself, with the referee as well. He doesn't think that's a foul and he's getting frustrated.
Stanley Ikenna in Port Harcourt in Nigeria, confident despite the long balls and relaxed possession. He says that Man United will nick this one late on. I like that description, relaxed possession. That's quite a good way to describe it, isn't it? And another yellow card there, Bruno Fernandes getting a bit hot under the collar.
Yeah, I don't know what for, but
he's not happy, is he?
He isn't, and I haven't seen what's gone on, but he ain't happy. And like I say, West Ham have got under Manchester United noses a little bit, and they're getting frustrated.
Yeah, Fernandes hasn't had his best game, We've said that a couple of times in commentary, but he really is a passionate man who just wants to deliver, wants to win, and wants to perform at the highest level. Anyway, his frustration's getting the better of him, and a yellow card. It's basically for back chat, isn't it? He's unhappy that I think West Ham are kind of time wasting. There's a player down in finals, the ball's been thrown away, he's unhappy, but then I think he just over airs those frustrations to the ref. And then also has a big row with Mark Noble, which doesn't help. The two square up.
Oh, he's thrown
there
his
you
head
go,
a
the
little
two
bit.
square up, don't they, and just butt each other. We've gone to VAR actually about this, because what happens is the two have a row, they put their foreheads together like a pair of kind of butting stags. That's kind of okay. It's then when he juts his head forward at the very end, isn't it? And that's what's gone to VAR. Nothing's going to be done about it, but Bruno Fernandes is perhaps a little lucky, and for his part in that, he actually, I thought, tried to break it up, to be honest, and push them apart, but Artur Masuaku has been given a yellow card for effectively pushing Fernandes away after he reared up against Noble. For me, that's a little bit harsh.
Yeah, it's just getting a little bit silly at the moment. Let's get back to playing a good football, and let's see some attempts on goal.
Yeah, let's get back to the business end. I agree. 81 minutes played. Man U 1, West Ham 1. Man U really could do with a win to have that comfortable buffer going into the final day, when of course they head to their fellow Champions League hopefuls, Leicester City. And depending on how Chelsea fare against Liverpool in our next commentary game in under 45 minutes time now, their position might be up for grabs too. Should be very interesting. Man U, though, would like to take the pressure off and win this one. Mason Greenwood's second half strike. Another predatory finish from the youngster to cancel out Mikel Antonio's penalty after handball from a free kick by Rice by Paul Pogba. That's where we stand. But this one has just eked back to parity. With about 8 minutes to go plus time added on, will we, I wonder, see one more goal or not? Michael Robin Toms has tweeted in from Brazil, his 64th birthday yesterday. Says 51 years ago I was in the UK, waited 30 years for Liverpool to win the Prem, but you'll never walk alone. Absolutely. So Robin, aware just of the historical significance and the long wait. So thanks to everyone at TalkSport. Yeah, it's been a great season, and pleased for you in Brazil, my friend, that you have got your team winning a title at long last. Here's Masuaku, beats his man, keeps the ball in play and does well there. Showing that he can play left back after all, Paul. What do we know? Good work from Artur Masuaku. Infield, Fornals, who's picked himself up after being hacked down earlier. To Noble, to young Johnson, and now to Declan Rice. West Ham just bringing the ball forward, midway inside the Man United half, again on this near stand side. Noble, as a veteran player who occasionally is now in and out of the team, gets the ball again, and he's wanted it and been banged up for it and played very well for me today. Yeah,
I think West Ham tick so much better when Mark Noble drops in and gets the football, and he gets West Ham playing. It might be 5-10 yard passes, but he gets them playing, and that's what we like to see for West Ham.
Ball over the top, and De Gea slips, or sorry, Fabianski slips I should say, as he clears it, but he's absolutely fine. Ball trickling out of play on halfway. Nearly 84 gone. Man U 1, West Ham 1. Taking a little look at Masuaku there, and he does catch Aaron Wan-Bissaka, doesn't he? He wins the ball but sticks out a stud and just catches his opposing fullback. Nothing's been done about it, but he's already on that yellow card from the melee earlier, and he's got to be careful.
Yeah, it looked quite nasty when you slow that down. It looked right down Wan-Bissaka's calf, and it looked really nasty.
I think the fact he kind of won the ball first before following through is perhaps why it wasn't highlighted initially, but as we say, just having gone on the yellow, got to be very careful, Artur Masuaku. Here come Man United looking for the winner. Lovely one from Greenwood, and it's straight to the new man who'd come on seconds ago, Odion Ighalo, on replacing Marcus Rashford. His first touch from Greenwood's delivery is to shoot just wide of Fabianski's left-hand post.
Yeah, fantastic play from Greenwood. I think he knows now Masuaku's on a yellow card, so if he can get at him and make things happen, draw a foul or go past him like he has there, and I think if Martial opens his mouth, it falls straight to him.
Yahimi Goodness is another Chelsea fan, urging West Ham on in the final few minutes, saying at least a draw, Greenwood, if not please a Man United defeat. Who come on seconds ago, Odion Ighalo on replacing Rice is the class that Chelsea need as a defensive midfielder. Imagine putting him alongside N'Golo Kante for next season. That would be a nice combination, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be
not out of the question at all. Joe Williams rooting for Man United from Grand Haven, Michigan. Could really do with some of that classic late game magic today, boys. Joe, we'll see if we can get that or not. And Jonathan Montoya, on behalf, he says, of the working classes, thank you for punctuating our day with your sublime commentary. That's from a dreary Roanoke, Virginia. Jonathan, our absolute pleasure. We just like to keep anybody happy, don't we, and keep them occupied if they're working, whatever they're doing, because obviously, yeah, it is the middle of a Wednesday work day in Virginia and many other places around the world. So, yeah, if you've got us on in your office or whatever you're up to, we're just happy to bring you the Premier League. It's what we do. 85 gone. Man United 1, West Ham 1. Is there one more little sting, I wonder, in the tail? Michael L saying, can Chelsea get the job done, and will the Red Devils put Chelsea at ease by the end of this one? I am not sure, my friend. He's backing Declan Rice to maybe score a late winner. Well, Rice has come very close with that wonderful drive a few minutes ago that was just wide of De Gea's upright. That would have been a memorable goal on the back of the one he scored against Watford last time out. Not to be, but it's been one of the best chances of the second half, certainly since Greenwood's equaliser. Chances have been a little bit fewer and far between. It's become a bit more cagey, a bit more tactical as we tick to 86.5. Man U 1, West Ham 1 on Premier League Live. Great tackle from Rice to dispossess Lindelof with ease. All ends up. He frees Bowen, who's charging downfield. Pogba checks across, in a mixture of Pogba and captain Harry Maguire do well to dig Lindelof out of trouble. Great work from Rice, and Bowen is absolutely exhausted after that run. He's given everything, hasn't he?
Yeah, like I say, he gets West Ham right up the pitch, and he's been fantastic for them tonight. I think he's been, along with Rice and Noble, one of the best players for West Ham tonight.
Ball out of play for a West Ham throw in a fairly attacking position of the field. Again, young Ben Johnson wearing 53. The 20-year-old will take it, enjoying some late time at the end of the season in the West Ham first team. Noble helps him out and frees Bowen. Bowen's first time cross is blocked by Brandon Williams. Ball takes a deflection. It's cut out nicely by Issa Diop. Forward looking for Thomas Souček. Williams intercepts again. It's 87.5 on the clock. Fernandes downfield, overhits his pass though, trying to free Mason Greenwood. Greenwood's quick, but he's not that quick. He'd need rocket boots to get to that one, wouldn't he?
He would, yeah, but like we say, he hasn't been at his best game tonight, but he still wants the ball and try and still make things happen for Manchester United.
TalkSport Live, keep those tweets coming in for the final few minutes of the game. Ryan McKinney says, I'm not rooting for either team, but just sitting back and enjoying your great commentary from across the pond. He says, hashtag go Spurs. Spurs, a team. You didn't go to Spurs, did you? Did you play for Tottenham at one point or not?
I did, yeah.
You did, didn't you? Was it a loan spell?
It was, yeah.
Yes, I remember.
One of the guys here, obviously Chris Perry, he went the other way. He went to Charlton and I went to Spurs. So
you played a fair bit there, didn't you, during that loan
I was
spell?
there for 3 months, yeah. I played 16 games there, so.
There was talk, certainly in the paper, of that being made permanent at one point, from what I remember. I don't know how true that was.
Yeah, it was, but then the manager took me there. He got the sack, so it all went all wrong after that. So
it's weird, isn't it, how these moments can work just because of the situation and the circumstance and the surroundings.
Yeah, that's right, but like I say, it was fantastic there while I was there, and shame nothing come of it, but it was a great football club.
Yeah, it certainly was. Yeah, I remember you marauding forward from left back during that time at Tottenham. Paul Konchesky alongside me. It's been good fun. It's been great to have you as part of our commentary team today. And I suppose actually with your Liverpool time as well, with Roy Hodgson there too, for the likes of you, for Joe Cole, things again could have turned out very differently had situations just been in circumstance a bit different.
Yeah, maybe. But you can't live in regret. And
no.
It was a great football club, and they deserve everything they've got, because they've been striving it for years and years, and they've eventually got what they needed, and fair play to them.
Jarrod Bowen is on the floor again. He's again holding his right heel, which is what was nibbled by Matic earlier. He appears to be in trouble, but play goes on. Fernandes overhits his delivery. Greenwood fed him. He bent it in, looking for Igalo. Overhit it and it's out, and Fernandes' frustrations continue. Another poor pass, yellow card for backchat, and then obviously that altercation with Rice earlier, with Noble earlier I should say, and I'm not entirely sure that Jarrod Bowen's going to continue here as we tick toward 90 minutes.
No, it looked a little bit nasty, but he took a few knocks tonight, and it seems to be the same leg that keeps getting knocked, but he's had a great game, and West Ham can do with not losing him as well.
Andrei Yarmolenko is the player who is going to come on and replace Jared Bowen as we tick into time added on. And Yarmolenko, we mentioned before, he's not the fittest these days after his injuries and as the pounds have piled on, but he's a class act, isn't he? He can just give you the odd moments of brilliance. We've seen that a few times. Yeah,
I think he showed that against Chelsea. He come onto his left foot, curled it in the bottom corner, and that's the little bit of magic we know he's got.
There will be 4 additional minutes as Bowen hobbles off, and that doesn't look great. I wonder if that's him done or not for the season, and that's important, isn't it, with that Villa game to come, because if he doesn't play, it potentially aids Villa's chances of getting something and maybe staying up. There are still big ramifications here for all these teams going into the final day, whether they're involved or whether they're playing teams that are.
Yeah, of course, and it'd be a massive loss for West Ham if that's the last bit of football he's going to play for him this year.
Greenwood, as Man U attack one more time. Infield to Harry Maguire, to Pogba, about 30 yards out on the near stand side, up against Thomas Souček. He finds Anthony Martial. Yarmolenko is quick to try and close down space, but he's beaten. Here's Martial, little 1-2 with Igalo, who beats one player, can't quite beat a second and get his shot away. Nigerian, who's been this fairy tale story since arriving on loan from Shanghai Shenhua, and having that loan spell extended. Boyhood Man United fan, of course, and wasn't too far away from maybe shooting, just needed it to open up for another half second.
West Ham got some great bodies behind the ball there, and and it was hard for him to get a shot off.
Here's Greenwood. Ademola Apiola wondering whether OGS has got true confidence in his whole bench. He's not always sure that Solskjaer changes games with his substitutions. Yeah, interesting point. We certainly saw that, didn't we, against Chelsea. 1 or 2 alterations here. And they have pulled 1 goal back over the course of the second half, but not the 2 that they would dearly like. Yarmolenko, the Ukrainian international, gifted player. Cutting infield, wearing 7 for West Ham. We've played 2 of the 4 additional minutes. Stays here on Premier League Live. Man U 1, West Ham 1. Remember, Man U Leicester to come. West Ham Villa to come on the final day. That should be an absolute snorter at the London Stadium. Noble thought he'd given the ball away, but Harry Maguire gave it straight back to him. Noble then dummies and allows it to trickle out of play for another throw. Both managers now out from their seating and right to the edge of their tactical and technical areas, trying to maybe help guide one more goal in for their respective teams. As things stand, by the way, West Ham would climb 1 place to 15th and be 4 points clear going into the final day and be 100% safe as opposed to 99.8% safe. And actually Man U for now would go third, to their credit, but obviously Chelsea have got 1 game in hand. It'd be Man U 63 points, Chelsea 63 but with a game in hand that's later against Liverpool, and Leicester, having played 37 like Man U, 62. That would be the kind of cushion that Man U would like, but not as good a cushion as if they'd won. But that's how we are set as things stand going into Sunday and the final day, with about, Paul, 30 seconds to go here, and it's fizzled out just slightly, hasn't it? We've had the odd moments since Greenwood's equaliser, but maybe not that barnstorming kind of rip-roaring finale that we hoped for.
No, and I think that's credit to West Ham. I think they've come they've come to not lose. They've set up, they didn't want to lose the football match, and fair play to David Moyes and his staff. That they've probably been and had the better chances, and they're going away probably happy if they can keep it as a 1-1 draw.
I think Sebastian Haller is possibly the player who's gone down. It is. He's holding his knee after possibly being fouled. There's another foul, and this time it's Pablo Fornals who's been upended by, I think, Odion Igalo. Fornals, who's spent a lot of time on the floor during this game being nibbled at. Haller gets himself back up after he was brought down, and Man U have not been shrinking violets at all in this match, have they? They've shown a lot of physical acumen.
Oh, they have, and a lot of it I think comes down to the frustration. They want to nick 3 points, and it's just not happening for them today, and fair play to West Ham, and there it is.
It's kind of summed up by Fernandes slipping as he plays in the free kick, which is weak, easily cleared, and that is the final moment of the game. Mason Greenwood equalises with his 17th of the season, but he doesn't look happy about that at all. He sits prone on the floor as he takes off his shin pads. He's frustrated. Man United are frustrated. It's written on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's face. They do get a draw. Their unbeaten run in the Premier League is extended to 13 games, but it's now 2 games without a win for the Red Devils. They're out of the Cup. and they're making life harder for themselves in the Premier League to confirm top 4 and Champions League. It's something at Old Trafford, but we have to credit West Ham as well, taking the lead early on through Mikel Antonio's penalty. Could have easily won it through Declan Rice. In the end, an excellent job from David Moyes' team back at Old Trafford, where it had turned sour earlier in the Scots' career. Full-time score on Premier League Live is Manchester United 1, West Ham 1. Okay, so Mikel Antonio, 4 goals against Norwich, 1 against Watford. From the spot, Antonio makes it 6 goals in 3 games, 10 for the season. He slides it into the corner, sending De Gea the wrong way. Man United 0, West Ham United 1. The fight for 4th going into the final day, playing each other. But it does not last for long, because Mason Greenwood, in the blink of an eye, smashes it home. West Ham stand off their men and give Man U a glimmer, and it's all they need. And Greenwood back in the goals. This youngster is terrific. It's his 17th of the season.
It's lovely play around the box, Martial and Greenwood. 1-2 in round the box, and lovely great finish from Greenwood. Gets that shot off early and gives Fabianski no chance.
It's Manchester United 1, West Ham 1. And that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls around the world, is how it finished here on Premier League Live. We'll talk West Ham briefly first. Now 100% safe, and 7 points from their last 9. Excellent.
Yeah, fantastic. I think the momentum for West Ham, they carried it on through for the game tonight, and like you say, they've come here and upset Manchester United by defending, and they got their goal, and they was happy with the draw.
And for Man United, there is a real sense of frustration around this place, isn't it? You can feel it around pretty much everybody. Ironically, Paul Pogba, despite giving away the penalty, and David De Gea, because perhaps he managed to do a whole game without a mistake, they seem the happiest of the lot.
Yeah, and like you've said there, Russell, the boys they're frustrated, and they're moaning at each other, but they've still got one more game, and it's probably in their hands rather than in Leicester's hands as we stand.
What do you think they need to do to get back to being at their very, very best more consistently? Is it a case still of personnel? Is it work on the training ground? What is it, do you think, that it's just stopping them perhaps going that extra bit that Man U fans just crave and still expect on the back of all of their dominant years under Fergie? That's still kind of a bit of a millstone around their neck, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think Ollie's done really well since he's been in, and 1 or 2 more personnel who he wants to add to the team. I think they're going to be an exciting team. The front 4-5 are what he wants, and he wants pace, power, he wants some skill, and he's got that. And 1 or 2 more signings from him, I think they're going to be a very, very good football team.
Okay, so we've already predicted that we think Villa will be safe, and Watford, Bournemouth and Norwich will be the 3 that go down, one of which is already confirmed. Let's ask the same question ahead of the final day then. Which of Man U, Chelsea and Leicester will be 5th? Who will miss out on Champions League football?
I don't want to say it, Russell, because I play for them, but I think Leicester are going to be the ones to miss out. I think Manchester United and Chelsea will make the top 4 up.
I think you could well be right. I think Leicester's lack of form just at the wrong time could hurt them. That said, it's still in their hands in that they have Man U at home, and that will be one of our brilliant feature games, 4 p.m. UK this coming Sunday, for the final day of this season. Delayed due to COVID-19, behind closed doors, but still well worth a listen. Full time, and thanks for your company. Man United 1, West Ham 1 on Premier League Live.
Evenings with James Whale on Talk Radio.
Keep connected with round-the-clock news, essential information and expert insight.
I think we've got to be very careful about the way this has all been going on.
Cutting through the confusion with everything you need to stay safe, informed and entertained.
Everyone's going on about, we should be tracking and testing, and I just don't know how that is going to happen.
Evenings with James Whale. Weeknights from 7 on Talk Radio.
In a world of 24/7 global sportscasting and instant news infotainment, one man bestrides the airwaves like a snow-capped Caledonian colossus.
Hello, I'm Jim White.
Jim White, Anchorman.
mid-morning news team assemble.
Jim White and Natalie Sawyer, the #1 rated news source for breaking sports stories, big-name guests, and liquid showbiz charisma.
Great Odin's Ravens. That's quite a transfer.
There's nothing burgundy about Jim White. Tomorrow morning from 10 on TalkSport.
In the spring of the year 2020 AD, a deadly enemy rages like a torrent of fire between the ends of empire.
My name is Maximus Talksportus Pandemicus, gladiator of the sports radio. Gird up your loins and battle the invasion of COVID-19, because what you do today will echo in eternity.
TalkSport Legion, assume tortoise formation against COVID-19.
Show this virus no mercy by keeping a distance of at least 2 meters at all times. That's 6.75 Roman feet.